Good morning, everybody. Happy Thankful Thursday. What an amazing day. I'm in a new studio here, and I know we all have a lot to talk about. It's been 2 weeks since I've been on, and I've been with y'all. Of course, we're all friends on LinkedIn either way, so we're seeing what each other is doing. We're seeing the abundance that we're all creating, and I want to thank Noelle Michelle and Abel Gray, who is on in the background here, for allowing me to use some background music, as we want to give props to them. I know that Abel Gray played a show opening for Cruella in Chicago at the Concord Music Theater, and it's around Logan Square, if you're familiar with the Chicago area. And I know it went super cool for them, just like you all have had a super cool week. So again, it is our Thankful Thursday, and today is the day that we move forward on the weekend and make it a great day. Let's begin. Welcome to this episode of Live Beyond Default Livestream, your weekly dose of personal growth. My name is Dave. I am a realtor. I am a personal growth nerd, and I am here to share and invest the next 30 minutes with you. And let's ask ourselves, as I asked myself this morning, has my week been epic so far? And if it hasn't been epic so far, it's time to take responsibility and make that shift right now, right here. Whether you're watching live, whether you're listening in your car, or you're watching it a week or two later, wherever we are is a great place to start. Not look back, start right now in the present moment. So let's make it a great day. Let's make the rest of the week great, and recognize that whatever's happening to us in our lives, we take responsibility for it, right? It's not because of the economy, I'm not making as much money. It's not because of this other person, I'm not feeling happy. We fully take responsibility for what we have, who we're surrounded with, our bellies, right? The amount of money that we make, we take full responsibility for that. And that's what it's all about on Live Beyond Default. And I challenge you to live beyond default moving forward. All right. So it's been a couple of cool weeks. I know it's been 2 weeks since I've been live. And Brother Joe, thanks for joining us. Partner Joe. Joe has been an epic mentor to me in the real estate world. I want to give him so many props, so much love. And of course, he just had his birthday too. And happy birthday to you, Joe. We've got Tyler Hawk. Tyler Hawk is a badass. Every time I'm with that dude, he asks questions, he's present, and he listens as opposed to talking over you. So we can all learn something from Tyler. Thank you. Michelle Norton. She's like my self-development nerd partner. Like, if you want to know what's going on in Michelle's life, check out Michelle Norton on LinkedIn. She is a badass. She is feminine divine, and we love Michelle. LinkedIn user. Let's go. Oh yeah, Brandon. There you are. Thanks for throwing that in there, Brandon. Brandon is amazing too. Like, I got to say, that guy commits to personal growth on a regular basis. We always share stories. He's a good looking guy too. I got to say, he's tall, he's fit. Clearly he's working out, right? Ritesh Shah. Love you, brother. I promise you, I am keeping it stupid simple because of what you said to me. So thank you so much. Jim Itzstein, thanks for joining, brother. We just recently did a Adopt a Highway cleanup in front of Woodfield Mall along Route 53, if you're familiar with the Chicagoland area. And it was really a good experience picking up the garbage and reflecting in my life, like, where do I have some garbage to pick up, right? Where can I level up my life, and where may I live beyond default, which truly is a life of design versus a life of neglect. That's why we're here. Joseph Gonzalez, good morning. Thanks for joining me, man. Like, I don't know where you live, but you're pretty badass on LinkedIn, and I do appreciate you always showing up strong. Brianna Reyes. Oh my, what can we say about Brianna? Like, Brianna, do you know Michelle? I think you both do, don't you? Yeah, Brianna has been sending me Post-it notes that she puts her takeaways from Live Beyond Default, and she puts them on her computer. And Brianna is newly engaged, which is super cool. And she's a badass. Follow her on LinkedIn too. All right. So these last couple of weeks, I went to go see the Minimalists. If anybody knows who those guys are, right? They're super cool. And of course, if you can't hear me that well, I am in a new studio. I'm using my mic here. I'm using my same equipment. I've got a direct feed into high-speed internet, which is higher upload rate, which is cool. So I should look good, right? I shaved my head too. But if you don't hear me well, just let me know. I'll do something with the mic and I'll hold it up. So we're going to always be tweaking the next few weeks and leveling up our game here. So I saw the Minimalists, and Joseph is in Miami, Florida. Thank you, man. So comedy. I have such an affinity for comedy, not just because it makes me laugh, but because these women and men get up there and they know that everybody's on them and they've got to hold space for everybody in the audience. And a lot of times shit's not funny. And there's that awkward silence, right? Well, I saw Mark Maron. And if anybody knows who Mark Maron is, he has a TV show, or had a TV show called Maron. And he also does a podcast, WTF. And he's been podcasting since 2010. He's a super OG. I remember I did a podcast for 2 years, from 2010 till 2012. He was up there along with Joe Rogan. And he's just a badass comedian. And what I loved about him was he had no opening act. He just came out there and started crushing it right from the beginning. And for 90 minutes, he really, he did a great job. And I loved being there. It was worth every bit of the money. I felt like I invested my time. I felt like I had fun with purpose. So I got to give props to Mark Maron. Jenny Rayner, good morning. Jenny, you are super tall. You have wonderful energy. Another feminine divine like Michelle Norton. And of course, Brianna Reyes. I love seeing the feminine energy on this live stream. So thanks for joining us. And we know today is Cinco de Mayo. Now, we all have a little Latino in us on Cinco de Mayo, don't we? Like, it's fun. I live in downtown Arlington Heights, so I have numerous Mexican restaurants around me. And it's like a big party scene, right? And, you know, we can say that one holiday is fake and, oh, we're Irish on this day and we're Latino on that day, whatever it is, it's just a celebration. And I've got to say that for a little while, does anybody know Spanish as not a language, native language? Does anybody know Spanish as a second language? I got to say, if you do, put it in the comments, because I remember I did take one semester of Spanish like 2 years ago, right before the pandemic. And I really enjoyed it. And what I loved about it is once I started learning some more words and being able to kind of put half sentences together, when I would speak or say good morning, I was kind of able to say a few sentences and understand others who spoke Spanish. And it's my opinion that conversation and communication and understanding each other is so important. And I'm running into people that speak Spanish all day long. So it really felt good to have, actually, it was a semester and a half. And then I stopped. So something I was thinking about going back to, you know, maybe that's something for all of us to reflect on. Like, what have you maybe stopped doing that you want to do again? I know that recently I was talking to someone and they said that they used to play piano and then they stopped. And maybe they just don't have time anymore. And I challenged them and said, well, we have 168 hours in the week, and you could choose what you want to do within that time. And of course, you have kids and you have career and you have working out and other things. But usually when we go through that time, exercise that we talked about a few episodes ago, we find that we've got about 20 hours a week left over. And if anybody wants to learn a little bit more about that time challenge, you could just DM me, and I'll share some information on that with you because it's super powerful. So yeah, we got Cinco de Mayo, couple cool things this last week. And is anybody going to any summer festivals? Because next week it's going to be warm, right? Now, Enrique lives in Miami, so he has a little bit warmer temperature than we do normally in Chicago. But it's funny because once summer hits in Chicago, it's like fifth gear for 3 or 4 months, and it's nonstop. Like there's so much stuff going on. So I've already got a couple tickets for electronic dance music festivals, which are my favorite. And if anyone's going to any festivals here or across the country, throw them in there because this is kind of a festival, right? Live Beyond Default. It's fun with purpose. Like we're going to enjoy investing this next half hour. So if you're just joining us, it's episode 19. Thank you for being here. And if you're watching the replay later on, maybe in your car, I'd appreciate if you'd share with your coworkers, your friends, your family, and whomever else you believe that this would add value to. And that's a great segue into our topic for today. Our topic today is values. All right, Garen's in there too. What's good, everyone? Thanks, brother. Michelle, fancy set indeed. Pinkies up. Yes. Send the sunshine here. Jim Burke, how are you, brother? I know you owe me a phone call. Hey, man, life gets in the way and life is important. And I'm always patient for my friends to call back. So, Jim, thank you for always encouraging me to live beyond default and to do this live stream. All right. Michelle Rubin is on there too. Love you, Michelle. Thanks for being on there. All right. So let's talk about values. What are your values? Well, there's lists of them. There's a lot of them. Here's a resource for you, James Clear, just like it's spelled, James Clear. He is the author of Atomic Habits. So Google James Clear and then put values after it. Instead of me sharing the screen here and pressing a bunch of buttons, I really just want to be present as we're speaking and investing our time together for this next half hour. So check out James Clear Values, and he'll give you a list of values. And there's a very simple exercise that you could do to go through and find out what your values are. And really think about your values. Like your values are like the foundation. They're like the pillars that guide you through life. They're the ideas and the energy and the lenses that when you see things, you filter them through those values. They really are points of light in your life, and they really are your guide through life. So check out James Clear Values. Also, you can check out Brene Brown Values. Google that, Brene Brown Values. And also the minimalists have a tool for that. Minimalists values, but you have to put in the minimalists. So those are all great resources to find out what your values are. And a simple way to kind of describe and figure out what your values are is take one of those lists of 50 or 100 or 150, or as Ritesh says, keep it stupid simple. So maybe just start with a list of 20 or 25 if someone has them, and then go through them and cross out the ones that aren't your top values. That's a great place to start. And then in the end, you'll have 3, 4, or 5 values to live by. And I am welcoming everybody to share 1 or 2 or 3 values that you may have in the comments that you guide your life by, that you filter decisions through before you make those decisions, which is super important. We're going to get back to that later, so stay tuned. Yeah, values. You hear a lot about people's values, and you wonder, are we following our values? And are we using our values as a pillar, as a foundation to ground us when the shit gets thrown at us, when the world changes? Or are we just like being swayed by emotions all the time? And are we making decisions based off those emotions, right? So think about that. Values, grounding yourself, and then you make a decision and you're grounded while it's almost like a flag waving and you're the flagpole. So you got this flag waving of all this stuff going on, right? Job change. Weather sucks. What am I going to do? Oh, my car broke down. Oh, Rona 2020. My boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with me, right? Oh, my husband, my wife, they're leaving me. Whatever it is, I'm not making light of anything. I'm just saying, right? Things are going on. And when you have values, you're like that flagpole. And you're letting the flag go, of course. You're not resisting it. But at the same time, you're recognizing that you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values. Actually, James Clear says, narrow it down to 3. Because if you have more, then you have no values at all, right? And the idea of that is what Ritesh Shah says, which is to keep it stupid simple. Keep things really, really simple. So let's think about our values. Michelle Rubin says, wow, you are so right. Brianna Ray says, Huggy Brene Brown fan. Yeah, Brene Brown, she rocks. So if you have any values that you live by on a daily basis, throw them in the comments. So I'll share a little bit about my values. One of my values is collaboration. Collaboration. In the real estate world, I'm collaborating with my clients. I am collaborating with buyers agents. I am collaborating with sellers agents. I'm collaborating with attorneys and inspectors and movers. I'm really collaborating lenders. I'm collaborating with a lot of people. And then if you know me, I like to say collaborating with cool people, right? I've coined that phrase because that's what I like to do. And why is collaboration so important for me? It's something that I'm aligned with. Number one, when a task or a project or a challenge comes up, the first thing I ask myself is who, as opposed to how am I going to do this, or well, maybe why am I going to do this? But I ask myself who. Who am I going to collaborate with to get this done better? Or who am I going to collaborate with that will teach me or lead me, teach me how to fish, right? Joe has taught me how to fish in the real estate world. Thanks, brother. So collaboration, and that might come from being an only child for 11 years. So I was always doing my best to go out and make friends when I was a kid, right? So for me, collaboration is really, really important. Another one of my values that's really important is integrity. Integrity. And I like to take the word and then turn it into action, right? So with integrity, I like to think of that as doing the right thing when nobody else is watching. And to me, that's a really important value is what am I doing? What am I saying? How am I acting when nobody else is around? Because that's going to reflect later on throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year when I'm showing up for my friends, family, coworkers, clients, and of course, team human. Elena, thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. Elena's a badass too. She does stretching and exercises and massage, and she also has a monthly online event where we all take a break and we do stretches because we've probably been sitting at a desk and working most of the day. So Elena adds value to her community, right? We're talking about values. Michelle Rubin says, being kind. Yeah, now more than ever, being kind and really understanding and listening to people, and also just recognizing that everybody's coming from their own frame. We're all doing the best that we can with what we have at this time, always. And that frame changed the way I looked and viewed at the world. So think about that. Yeah. So what's another, I was talking about integrity. Yeah. What I do behind closed doors, doing the right thing just because, like for no reason, for no outcome, just doing the right thing. And when you focus on that, I found that the right thing happens and good things come about that. Another one of my values is abundance. I love that word. Just saying that word, like abundance, is so powerful, and it makes me feel so good when I say that word. So think about abundance. Like when I think of abundance, I think of actually letting go of that does not serve me and creating the space to focus on what brings me joy, where I'm adding value. That's where abundance comes in my life. It's not gathering more stuff. It's actually letting go of things. It's not having more friends. It's being closer to the people that I do know and love, and focusing on them. So when I meet others, I'm able to serve them actually on a bigger level. So Joseph Gonzalez says, being genuine, real, and authentic. I love that. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, being genuine, real, and authentic. Think about that one. Like, we've all wanted to be other people at certain times. We've all wanted to maybe be a different version of ourselves. And we've all acted a certain way before. We all do it. And it takes a lot of energy to not be authentic. It takes a lot of energy to not be your true self and to try to be somebody else. So I think that's a big one, being genuine, real, and authentic. And more than ever, people recognize it. Like, they know if you're being genuine, they know if you're being authentic, or they know if you're trying to get something from them or you're trying to sell them something. Think about that. Have you ever met a salesperson that has the sales cologne on? Yeah, smelly, right? Or the commission breath when they roll up. And it's not just in sales. You could tell people in general when they kind of want something in the background, right? So check in with yourself. If you're looking for outcome dependence, if you're looking for something from someone, we all know that what brings us happiness is not outside. What brings us happiness is right in here, right here. Not this. This is the amygdala. This is our lizard brain going crazy and scanning shit around the world. This is what brings us happiness right in here. We all know that. It's good to remind ourselves. And thanks for listening too. You know, I love sharing these practices I've done for the last 7 to 10 years of my life. And you all know that in no way am I saying that what I do is better than anybody else, or this is the way to do something, or, hey man, you got to do this if you want this. We're all sharing here different behaviors and practices that we have, so our community will grow. So we live beyond default, which is a life of design versus a life of neglect. So your values will really, really matter. And most importantly, the values matter because, as Garen said about being authentic and genuine, people will be attracted to you, and people will want to work with you and grow with you when you have values that are recognizable, when you state those values, like even stating them on LinkedIn and just putting a post out there that says, hey, I've been thinking about my values, and this year's values are this, this, and that. And boom. Does anybody else have any ideas about their values and what they can do? It really, really does matter because it keeps us on path. It keeps us focused. It eliminates distractions, or at least minimizes them. And as I said before, being the flagpole and the flag's waving with all these other things in the world, we keep that groundedness, we keep that focused, and we stay forward focused when we are going. Elena says, thank you, Dave. You're invited to my next free online monthly stretching class, Wednesday, June 1st, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Cool. DM Brianna. I apologize, Elena, if you want to be a part of her stretching class. It's super epic and I love it. People first relationships are the key. Thank you again, Joseph. So as always, I'm loving this conversation and the collaboration and the leadership takeaways that you all are sharing with me. So thank you for sharing in the comments. And why do we want to align our values with decision making? Decision making, really, decisions are saying no to other things and going for the yes on one thing. And it's important to make decisions in a timely manner to keep the momentum going. These values are going to help. And ask yourself with that too, like, how are we adding value to our clients? How are we adding value to our coworkers? How are we adding value to our kids, to our spouse, to our boyfriend or girlfriend or significant other? How are we adding value to Team Human in general? How are we adding value? And ask yourself, this is the big one. Are you value able? Think about it. The word valuable. Are you value able? Are you able to bring value to others, to Team Human? And first, are you able to bring value to yourself by taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially? Because we know that if we're not filling up our cup first, we can't pour our cup and fill others' cups without having that foundation here. So ask yourself again, are you value able? And I'll bet you will find 2, 3, 4, or 5 ways that you are value able or valuable to your network and to your clients and to your friends and to your family. And as I said before, check out The Minimalists' values. James Clear, values. Brene Brown, values. Those are great resources to start and look through those lists and start the self-reflection process on values. It amazes me how quickly a half hour goes when I'm sharing my time with you all. Like, it just blows by and it blows my mind. Yeah, we've got some good things coming up here. First of all, we got the new studio. I know it's very white in the background here. So we're going to have some colors up here soon, and we're going to have a little bit more equipment. I know the lighting's pretty good, especially look at that shiny bald head, right? Super shiny. You might have to be wearing glasses or the yellow glasses like I am. But yeah, as we go throughout this weekend, let's think about our values. Let's invest 5 or 10 minutes and go through some values and start to pick out some values that we want to live by. And most importantly, let's ask ourselves, are we value able? Are we able to bring value to others in our life, create more joy, create more awareness, right? Create more compassion, create more love for the world, and be a leader and live beyond default. And on that note, I want to thank you all for joining me this week. It's been super cool. You could tell I just love sharing this time with you. I love the comments, and I get so many messages, DMs. When I'm out, people come up to me and say, "Oh, I saw this episode." And it's amazing the amount of people that watch or listen to this episode after it's live. So if you found value, would you be so kind as to reach out to your friends or coworkers or share on LinkedIn and share the link to this live stream and ask others or encourage others to give it a listen. So we're going to see you again next week. We're going to keep leveling up, right? I'm going to hold myself accountable to you. You guys are going to hold yourself accountable to me. And until next time, make it a great week. Thank you.